Creating your happy story. This is day 4 of how to get your specific person in 30 days. You're always winning your specific person's love. You want to feel like a winner. So we're going to create a 30-second story. Somebody walks up to you and says, "Oh my gosh, I heard you got married." What are you going to say? Are you going to say, "Yeah, I got married"? Or are you going to be like, "Yeah, I did, and I found the most incredibly wonderful partner that spoils me and treats me like a princess"? Are you going to be more specific and talk about the fact that your specific person is spoiling you in a specific way? This is a little bit of work, but you're retraining yourself to see this relationship in a good way. And if you have a new love, the elevator story doesn't change. You meet somebody from 10 years ago, and they notice that you have a wedding ring on your finger. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you got married?" And you're like, "Yes, I did. Tell me about it." You're fighting with your specific person that day. You're not getting along. And you look at them and you go, I don't even want to say the bad stuff out loud. I don't. And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're not happy in your marriage." Remember, our goal is to say, super happy married, happily married. I am so happily married. I have an incredible marriage. I have an amazing husband. Because it's about you telling the story that makes you feel good about being in this relationship. Now, you're not going to feel good every day. Some days are going to be rough. Some days are going to be awkward. Some days are going to be fun. Some days are going to be romantic. We want more days that are fun and romantic. And that's why we want to talk about, I have a great marriage. We are the outdoorsy type. We're adventurous. We go hiking on the weekends. We took a vacation and we went hiking the Oregon Trail. We went hiking up, what is that, Mount Rushmore? The Swiss Alps or something. We didn't get all the way to the top on this trip, but we got about 3 miles up. We had a beautiful night camping, and then we came back the 3 miles down. When you're talking about your relationship to somebody else, and you know this, if you work in a job, go to the break room, go and listen to what people are saying about their partners. Are they talking good about them? Are they talking bad about them? Because that's their 30-second elevator story. Let's go. The guy leaning back on his chair and he's like, "Yeah, me and the wife fought all weekend. I'm so glad to be at work today. I hate my job. I hate my wife. Life is really crazy right now. I just don't find no reason to be happy. That old ball and chain is just, I'm at my wit's end." Or the other one, "Well, I haven't divorced her yet. Oh my gosh, I think my husband's cheating on me." Like, he was on his phone and he had his phone and, oh, it's sitting on my tablet. He had his phone, and when I went to go sit next to him, he like really quickly put it in his pocket. "I think he's cheating on me. Can you help me prove it?" You want your story to be true. You want to create more of the true story you want. This has nothing to do with believing or beliefs. Creating your happy story is about using those first 3 videos, change your story, ask better questions, and praise to answer a question somebody is going to ask you. Easiest one is when you're sick. "How you feeling?" "Oh, I feel..." Or, "I feel better. Like, look, my cough doesn't even sound as bad anymore. I'm feeling better. I am so thankful I'm feeling better. Thank you, I'm feeling better. I'm so thankful I'm feeling better. How are you today?" "Very well." "How's life?" "Very well." "How's your relationship?" it just keeps getting better and better every day. Like, I had thought I had the most amazing relationship, and every day it just shows me that it's even better than I thought it was. Like, yesterday we went and did date night. Saturday we went grocery shopping together. And we're always finding ways to make each other laugh. What do you want? Zendaya's 30-second story was always, when they said, what kind of man do you want? She said, someone who makes me laugh and can be serious. That was her 30-second story. I want a man who can make me laugh, but can be and still be serious. What's your 30-second story? What do you want your person to do for you? Do you want your person to show up and make you laugh? Do you want your person to show up and be kind? Do you want your person to show up? I have a sign on my door, but most of all, be kind. So before you knock on my door, it says be kind. I have love you. I have always successful. Always winning at the game of life. Start each day with a heart full of love. Designers would like to tell you these signs are out. But I wrote a sign above my patio door that says Prosperity Lane. So I'm sitting here and every day I can see Prosperity Lane. I can see from my desk if I'm working at the desk. I can see Prosperity Lane. And I'm constantly being ingrained with Prosperity Lane, Prosperity Lane. I used to live on a street that was literally called Prosperity. Want to know how much money I was making when I lived on Prosperity Lane? Because then you're bragging about it. Rich people don't go, I am wealthy. Rich people say, I have a lot of money. I make a lot of money. I have a lot of money. I have a client that is around very wealthy people, billionaires. And they're always saying money separately to wealth. Wealth is joy, happiness, support, being raised up. People surrounding you are helping you to be a better person. So if the 3 people you hang out the most with are going to the gym every day, you're going to be the next person who goes to the gym. If your 3 people are millionaires, you're going to be the next millionaire. If your 3 people are happily married, you're going to be the next happily married person. So your 30-second elevator story talks about that. But you want to practice this. This is a role. Think about this. When Johnny Depp was filming Captain Jack Sparrow, and he was doing Pirates of the Caribbean, and he was out on the boat, and the boat's rocking, it was easy for him to stay in the character because the boat was rocking. But what happens when you come off of the boat and you've been on the water all day and the boat is rocking? You step on dry land and you can't walk straight right away. It's like you do these spins. We do these as kids. We spin around in a circle and we just spin and spin and spin and spin. Or we would make our parents hold our hands and spin us around in a circle. And then they would set us down and we would be like, whoa. If you're an actor, you have to practice that role. So you have your script and you're practicing your 30-second script about what your relationship is like, with the expectation that you are going to bump into somebody, and when you bump into this person, boom, they're going to ask you about your relationship. I got asked when I got my nails done this weekend about my relationship. I got asked about other things in my life. What do people ask you every day? If you're focused on they're asking you about chaos and you expect them, this isn't an assumption. You're not assuming they're going to ask you. You're expecting the question. So when you start dating and you start smiling a little bit more and they're showing up for you a little bit more, what happens?
You're going to people expect, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, people are asking me, what am I supposed to say? Now you're prepared. You're prepared because you took the time to make your list, to create your 30-second story, to focus on what you're going to say. You're sitting in a restaurant and your person that you disliked in high school happens to be in there with their boyfriend, and you're sitting there and they're like, oh, poor baby, eating dinner alone. Yeah, I am tonight because my husband's working. He's absolutely positively amazing, and he's a hard worker. He does really nice things for me. So he told me to go take myself out to eat tonight so I didn't have to cook. She's going to, oh, really? Yes. You're not going home with that person. You didn't say that person's name to her. You just put her in her shoes. And then when you left the restaurant, it made you feel really good to see the look on her face when she went, oh, really? And you all know what I'm talking about. We get our hair done. We get our nails done. We shave. We buy certain clothes. We have certain vehicles we drive. We want to live at a certain place. All of that is a part of our image. If you go home to a rundown dump, I don't want to go home. Oh God, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. And then you see all over social media, people are saying, don't decorate your home for the next person who's going to live there. Decorate it for yourself. So they're doing all these colorful decorations. All of these wonderful things. I have my favorite paintings on the wall. I have my swans over there. I have swans there. I have a lotus with dragonflies there. I really like this, always successful. I just think I need to put an exclamation point there because the successful is off center. But with that little word, always, I revised. And I projected. And I put it in the now. So right now, I'm asking you a question. Answer it immediately. What is your 30-second elevator story when you bump into somebody that you haven't seen and they ask you about your romantic relationship? What are you telling them? If I want to share more than my 30-second story, I will. If I don't, I will tell them, you will be the first to know when I decide to make it public. When I decide to share my relationship publicly, I'll loop you in. Because I have no problems telling somebody that is not a part of my everyday life. Nothing. I don't have to share every aspect of my life with every person I meet. And when we sit home and we're silent, are we really silent? Or is our 30-second elevator story that we should be telling somebody that we bump into making us feel sad? Oh, I miss my person. Oh, my person's not here. Oh, I'm getting depressed. I guess I'm just going to go home and watch Netflix and wait for him to call. But I'm not going to tell anybody he's not talking to me. And when people ask how my relationship is, I say it's fine. How would you feel if they said that about you? Oh, it's fine. Oh, our relationship's fine. She's ignoring me. She's not listening to anything I say. Your 30-second elevator is bragging about something they did that made you feel good. So all success stories, you guys want to hear success stories, it's because somebody else got what you want and that made you feel good. What are you doing to create a better reality in your life? What are you doing that tells people that this relationship is amazing? Because people are going to ask. And if you're standing in front of them when they're like, who's this? What are you saying? How are you introducing them? because all of these things need to be done before we get into the fake it before you make it. Oh, and we need to do birds. Birds, birds, birds before land. So right now, we are creating the role of a happily married person. We're going to get into how to get communication, how to get contact, how to get dates and texts, what to affirm for. We're going to get into all of these things as we go through these videos. And I'm just going to check off the ones that I did, because right now we're at day 17. I have 17 ideas for videos. It may not be done in the order in which they're listed, so I'll check it off as it's done. Your specific person does something nice for you. Took you out on a date. Ooh, put a number there. First date. Ooh, went out on a second date. Second date. Third date. Oh my gosh, he's texted me 3 days in a row. When your best friend says to you, how's it going? They've texted me 3 days in a row. They've been really chatty and wonderful to talk to. Like, it's amazing. It feels wonderful. People are going to ask because they want to hear what's going on in your life to escape their life. And then if your life is better than theirs, they may be jealous. They may send to you. That's okay. Don't let it get to you. Actually go the opposite and be like, you can have this too. Why don't we talk about how our guys are treating us amazingly well together? Tell me what he did for you that you liked yesterday. Start changing them. And if they don't want to change, then say, you know what? I enjoy talking to you. I like working with you, but we're not going to talk about relationships because you want to talk about the problems. I want to talk about the successes. And keep your focus on the prize, that you win their love, and you're always winning their love. Yes, you are always winning your specific person's love because you are doing it in a way they can't resist. Love goes under and over, around, and it creates an amazing path of its own. But if you are literally going, text me, 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 I don't even want to text you. If you are seeing, I love when they text me. You know, we couldn't go out on an actual face-to-face date tonight. We didn't have time to go to a restaurant, but we were both snuggled up in bed and we were texting each other for about 30 minutes before we fell asleep. And then the next morning, I got this amazing text from him saying, thank you. I had a wonderful evening last night. Just by texting you for 30 minutes. You're going to be grinning all day long. So your 30-second story can change. But I need you to make up one to start so that you have a phrase, a story that you can tell somebody in 30 seconds that tells them that your person is beyond amazing and your relationship is being spoiled. They're spoiling you. They're doing nice things for you in your own words so that you're prepared. Because that's the only problem when we discuss this with other people. We're not prepared. That's why when you work in a call center, they give you a script because they are preparing you to be able to handle what they say backwards, what they say back to you. If you are at a bank and they say about an overdraft fee, you have an article, you have a script on how to talk to them about the overdraft fee. And once you get into this feeling of good about this overdraft fee, you don't need that script anymore. Because now it just naturally comes out. These scripts, these questions, these phrases, these statements, they are giving you confidence and creating muscle memory. which is the most important thing in a relationship. You want your muscle memory to be, this is a great relationship, because that is when you change your life and your relationship for the better. I love you guys. You have an absolutely positively amazing day. And as always, leave me a comment and let me know how I am drastically changing your life for the better.